Welcome, everyone. Welcome to 2024 as we continue our series on trekking in Nepal. And today we are going to talk about the topic of thrifty trails. So how to do trekking in Nepal on a budget. And with me today is Dinesh Karki from Nature Explore Trek, whose expertise we rely on for all of these topics. And we're welcoming today Yoki. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Now,
I think you're correct.
So Yoki, we run this fairly casually. So if you have any questions during the Zoom, please feel free to ask your questions. And normally what we do is we just introduce ourselves just so that you know who we are and what we're doing, and then we'll dive into today's topic. So as I mentioned, my name is Michelle Hill, and I first fell in love with Nepal about 8.5 years ago now, when I went and I jumped on a plane by myself, knowing nothing about long trekking or anything like that, and went on a trek to Everest Base Camp. Probably if I'd known how hard it was going to be, I probably wouldn't have signed up. But it turned out to be, as I said, quite challenging, but also I would say one of the best things that I've ever done in my life, because it really changed my mindset and the way that I approached things, and taught me the lesson of, you can do what you set your mind to, even if you think you can't. And I love Nepal so much so that I went back a couple of years later and trekked Annapurna Circuit. And again, different set of challenges and different learnings, but came away from it, I feel like a really different person. So part of the reason why I'm involved with spreading this information and talking with Dinesh is because I really want people to appreciate and love Nepal, and also to experience what trekking can do for you as an individual and how it can literally change your life. So now I'm going to ask Dinesh to introduce himself, and then we will get into today's topic.
Okay, thank you, Michelle, and good morning from Kathmandu, and welcome to events Yoki Yao from Hong Kong. And I am from the eastern part of Nepal, where I was born and brought my childhood. Since I finished my school, I came to Kathmandu for my high school, and at the meantime, I started my job as porter at the beginning of tourism sector. Every who guides or any entrepreneur start their career. Spent like 5 to 7 years as a porter, as a helping people, carrying bag, went to mountains, several places all over, like Everest, Annapurna, whatever. After became like a more like experience and know about the trail, like after every step upgrade, like assistant guide, helper, and then finally I became a full guide, and where I've been working with group like the last 12 years with one of the toppest level company in Kathmandu. So, and from 2015, our one of guide team, like myself and our professional guide team, we are friends from a long time. We decided to establish our company called Nature Explore Trek, and where Michelle and I meet, and she's already explained about her about love of Nepal and being like trekking in Everest Base Camp and Annapurna. Like this is how we meet in Nepal. And in the meantime, I also got opportunity to travel in Europe, and where I trekked with my other friends. And it's so beautiful and nice place, different landscape than Nepal, and good experience. We're not only trekking in Nepal, we also organize group and guiding groups in Kailash, west part of Tibet and Bhutan, at the land of the thunder and beautiful lands, and India, the border where the mountains are, and of course all over the Nepals. namely Everest, Annapurna, Kanchenjunga, Manaslu, Makalu, like where all the big mountains, there are so many trekking trails. So that means we cover everywhere in Nepal, Tibet, Bhutan. In our 8 years journey of Nature Explore Trek, we have been working with more than like hundreds of people, and we already got a very good feedback in our TripAdvisor platform, Facebook, so all the social links. So we are hoping in 2024 we will meet more new people from Australia, from all over the world, including including Yukio maybe and everyone. Yeah. That's I want to tell Michelle now. Yeah.
And I love the way when you start listing off the different treks, how the names just flow straight off your tongue, and there's so many different ones, and it just like it like the back of your hand. Now, as I said, today's topic is Thrifty Trails, navigating trekking in Nepal on a budget, because not everybody has a lot of money to spare, but they still want to create an amazing experience and to do something really different. And trekking in Nepal is one of those. So to get us started, maybe if we talk about, so I've got a series of questions here which I'll ask you. So what would be the best time to actually trek in Nepal to be the most cost effective?
That would be the best time for that kind of budget friendly trek in the beginning of season. Of course, in the high seasons, every travelers love to come. Let's say in mid of autumn, like mid of October to November, and many travelers come at the same time. So it might be not very easy to manage the budget friendly trek at the time. So the best time for budget friendly trek would be from end of the November to beginning of January. As we have an experience of weather, it's still so beautiful weather, except little chill in the morning and evening. When you have warmer equipments, warm jackets, like good equipments, no worry about cold. And another season in May to the beginning of June, it is good weather in budget friendly trekking in Nepal, because this month mentioned less crowded and less tourists, because most of tourists will visit in the high season, like in April, in March, autumn season in October and November. So end of the November to beginning of January, like let's say New Year, every year of New Year, and May to the beginning of June. That would be the good time for budget-friendly trekking in Nepal.
Great, thank you. And welcome, Carolyn. We're fairly casual here, so as we're walking through the different questions, if you have any specific something that's on your mind or any specific questions, please feel free to ask. Mostly Dinesh will answer, but I do have some experience in Nepal myself, so sometimes I can chime in as well. So thank you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Apologies for being late. I was fighting with my ex. Driving me. So I really need a trip to Nepal.
Absolutely. Well, you can definitely come with us. I'm actually going to be trekking with Dinesh in both May and November this year. So we can talk separately after this if you like about the specific trips that we're doing. Yeah. But back to our topic, which is all about budget-friendly trekking. Is there, Dinesh, any specific treks or areas that you would recommend if people are trying to keep their costs down?
Yes. There is a few trekking trails, budget-friendly trekking, where you can, if travelers want to the budget lower, in the low budget. So namely Langtang Valley Trek. It is the north of Kathmandu Valley, and this is quite easy and cheaper trek. And another trek in we can also say Everest View Hotel.
Yeah,
like people who want to see the Mount Everest, but they don't have enough budget to go all the way to base camp.
But your internet's not being kind to us.
Oh.
Your internet's not being kind. You're sort of freezing and then starting again.
Oh, so
Langtang Valley.
Bangkok Valley and
Yeah.
Everest View Hotel trek.
Yeah.
And even if people who want to see the Everest, and if they don't have enough time, long time, and not enough budget, then they can go to short trek, like for 7-8 days, and come down. That will be the age of budget. And another trekking in Annapurna, it is like Mardi Himal trekking, which is like a 6 to 7 days trek, and it is not a high budget trek, and it is also very short and easy trek. And another trek, we can also call Gorepani Puni trek. It is very easy and short for beginners, and it is very beautiful, where you will cover all the beautiful mountains of Annapurna. And not only the mountains view, you will also have a very good experience of culture, landscape, charming people, and like everything at the same time.
Yeah. So what I'm getting is that, yeah, if you're on a limited budget, then probably looking at a slightly shorter trip is going to be more wallet friendly. And also if you're a beginner, starting with something a little bit shorter and not diving in straight away to something that's 18 or 21 days long. Like when I did the Annapurna circuit, and I think it was like 19 days or something, and I was like, oh. But at the start I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. And then I was like, I wonder why I chose.
I think you just glitched out.
What?
Sorry, you just glitched out a bit there. So can you just repeat the last statement? Sorry, love.
I said when you do long treks, what you'll find is that the first few days can be quite tough physically, but then your body starts to get track fit because you're walking every day. So as you get towards the middle and the end parts, not so much it becomes easier, but your body adjusts, and you do start to feel like you are a bit stronger, and you can manage some of the steps and uphills and all that sort of stuff. Now, what sort of accommodation, if you're looking for budget friendly accommodation, Dinesh, what are people looking for?
Yes, according to your budget, the accommodation will be provided. So let's say for those travelers who want to trek in lower budget, so normally the accommodation will be provided at tea houses and homestay during the trek. So you will have like the rooms, but for the not with attached toilet. So you have to go like in a kind of common room, and the food at the same hotel. So how it works. So on the trekking, you have like common sharing room, and in Kathmandu, you can also choose, or we can also suggest some like a $20-25 per day kind of rooms. So normally in Kathmandu, in cities, you will have a good rooms with attached and hot shower room. On the trekking, you will have like just basic rooms. I mean common rooms, but not like a attached toilet one. So that's kind of for a normal budget. But instead of budget friendly, if someone want to do the luxury one, so even on the trekking nowadays, every places they have like attached rooms. So this is for the high budget trek.
Okay, so there is variations in the type of tea houses and accommodation even on the treks.
It is.
I can remember, when you say like basic rooms, I can remember being in rooms that were literally wide enough for a single bed and for me to put my pack on the floor, and one window and one door.
Yeah, it is.
And then one of the other costs I think that people don't often think about in terms of when they're putting their budget together is the type of permits and documentation you need, because pretty much every area you go, you require some sort of permit and registration, don't you?
It is. Yeah. We need every different region required the different permits. For example, if we go and Annapurna, we need like a Annapurna conservation permits and Teams card. Like that, we need two types of permits. And instead of Annapurna, if we go and Everest region, so we need like an national park tickets and local government entrance fee. So we need like two different permits which is required. Without permits, so they're not they're not allowed to travel in that area because of national park and Annapurna is conservation area. So that region.
Okay. So if somebody comes with you and it's like an all-inclusive cost, then you would organize these for people, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's our job and how we've been working last 22 years now.
Yeah. And then if they wanted to organize their own, like they'd have to go to the correct government areas and the correct offices in Kathmandu or Pokhara or along the...
Yeah, if someone want to go, they want private themselves. It is a long process to get permit. They have to go for attend in themselves to the Nepal Tourism Board and fill the form, giving the interview and make sure all the insurance and then even on the trekking when they are good, they have to find themselves accommodations, like make communication with the local people and find the all the things. It makes really hard travel. I mean, like some people do that kind of trip also, but the people, who are like really budget people and who are like more adventurous, who've been like all the time mountains.
Yeah.
But not like for normally in common for beginners for first time in Nepal, it might be a little harder. So I'm here, I'm going this job, but I don't mean to come with us. But at least for comfortable, for good memories, making trip is always go with someone. It's make good your trip.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to keep their costs to a minimum in terms of equipment and what to bring and what to wear, what would be your recommendation for like the absolute minimum that they would need to bring with them?
It is. Yeah, like it depends how long they go to trekking. Let's say for short and budget-friendly trekking, you don't have to bring a lot of clothes. So most of things you can also hire in Kathmandu. For example, sleeping bag, down jackets like what I'm wearing now because it is very cold in Kathmandu. And this down jacket, sleeping bag you can hire. Even like walking sticks. So they charge like per day base like $1.5 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And when you return from trekking, you can return they refund their things and then you can take back your deposit. Without putting deposit, they will not give you all their things because of for safety. And some pairs of trousers, like t-shirts and beanies, like this normals. If I'm traveling, I would not pack a lot of things for that kind of trip, just kind of light packing. Light packing means whatever you just use for your trip, just one thing. And the rest of your clothes you can bring in Kathmandu, but you can store in here. You have a store, you can where you stayed at hotel, you can also store there. For the trekking, you don't have to spend a lot of money for buying equipment. So in Kathmandu was the best place, I think, if not buying it at your hometown. Yeah. And here you can rent and just buy like you need at least one big jacket for morning and evening. Yeah. Take from cold. But during the day when you're trekking, so it is hard as the temperature is rising and your body is moving. So light packing is enough.
Yeah, I do remember starting days off with a down jacket and probably 3 or 4 layers underneath. And then by late morning down to a t-shirt. That's stuffing everything into my backpack.
Yeah.
The only thing I would add to that too is that having good footwear is a real key to having a successful trek. Yeah. So the only thing I wouldn't suggest that people skimp on or try to even hire is having a good pair of boots, because without that, it doesn't matter what else you do or whether you're fit or if you've got all the right gear. Trust me, if you're not wearing the right footwear, you will not have a good experience. Yeah. And I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer on that. Carolyn, you wanted to ask us something?
Yeah, just quickly, is there facilities for washing the clothes while you're trekking? So if you just took, say, two T-shirts or 3 T-shirts, 3, bits and pieces, is there facilities to wash and dry before you move on to the next step?
You will find that there's taps and bowls. Bring your own soap. and bring your own little washing line that you can string up somewhere. And what I generally found was that you wouldn't want to wash anything too thick unless you were staying 2 nights in a place. But often in the common area, they have a fire. So it is warmer there and you can get things dry. But the flip side of that, Carolyn, is that, if everybody's been wearing the same clothes for 3 or 4 days, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, there are things I don't care about. Like, I can wear a pair of shorts 3 days in a row, but my underwear go underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, but underwear will dry quickly, so you're not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next one, I see a lot of this in the questions in the different Facebook groups that we're in is it actually possible to trek in Nepal independently and save money at the same time? Or is it kind of, if you go independently, by the time you sort everything out for yourself, are you going to be up for similar costs as if you let somebody else organize it for you?
Well, yeah, some people can do it independently also for save some money for the guide or porter. If they are well fit, as I explained earlier a little bit. So and it is, if you really want to make your experience memorable lifetime trip, so go with team like the guide, porter, who may it is you coming from long way, to know about Nepal, to know about mountains. So if you have someone with you, you will help you to explain and make a good communication with locals, right? And we will tell you the exact name and heights and the history of mountains. Who will put you in the right trail where you were trekking and what need to do, So I saw so many independent trekkers trekking, but they are losing trail, losing life. Even recently, we have a bad accident in the mountain. One of the Swiss guy who died in North Himalaya in just beginning of January, beginning of this new year, because he was independent and he lost a trail. You walk other trail and then the trail was totally, it is mountain, so it's slippery and he fell down to the mountains. That means the body is not founded because the Nepal armies and other social workers and Nepal mountaineering associations are looking around. Some people, they might save some budget, like a little bit of guide wages, but in my opinion, it is not a good decision. Especially the people who are planning in first time in Nepal, are like beginners who have not have experience about the walking in mountain and not going before in mountains. Please, it's my suggestions. Go with team, go with guide or like porter. It might be a little bit costly for you, but you will be rewarded with good experience of team and good experience of local experts. And we'll tell you the real history of Nepal. We'll explain you the nature, culture, religions of Nepal. So there will be your golden opportunity to know about Nepal and histories. So it will keep in your mind for your long life. So budget friendly might be a little cheaper, but you will have a lot of trouble in your mind. That means you would not be enjoyed as much you were expecting. But if with the team, you will be like you giving all the responsibilities for the guide and team, and you will be the free there enjoying for your trip. As you're walking with your small day pack and asking the questions, making more comfortable during the trek, it will totally different. So if you're not tied with the budget and you want to know more about the Nepal, so go with team. That's my point.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we do not so much overlook, but when you're trekking in mountains on little narrow tracks, it is actually quite dangerous. And if you're not 100% sure exactly where the track is or what you should be doing, you can, and particularly if you are by yourself too, if there's no one with you, you could put yourself in a situation that's not great. So hopefully they do find that person. And the other thing I just wanted to touch on too today was we all know that when we travel, things can go wrong and we can have unexpected expenses. But what would you suggest or your recommendations to try and minimize having like unexpected things that we have to pay for?
Yeah, like there's so many things you need to know before you travel, It is your new destinations, first time. So, like especially when you shopping around the markets as a tourist, every locals, every shopkeepers, they expect you bring the whole money. So, so like sometimes they ask like the price is like different and they can ask a little bit more. So you have to meet the right price for the kind of stuff.
You mean tourist price?
Yeah, there will be
I'm sure I've paid tourist price in many countries.
Yeah. You have to be careful with.
Carolyn wants to ask a question too. Hi, Deb. Sorry, we didn't get a chance to say hi to you.
Yeah, no, that's good. Is it a barter economy? Is it okay and culturally acceptable to barter with the market's store holders to track the price? Right?
Negotiate.
Yeah, negotiate. Yeah. Little bit negotiations would be okay. Yeah, like 5-10% down is okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, we're talking about tourist prices in the market. Now, what other things can we do before the trip so that we can kind of minimize having something unexpected pop up and ruin our budget?
Others, like we already talked about equipment, so just pack what you need exactly, and you can minimize your cost. And especially for shopping in the markets, in the cities, not in the mountains. So your shopping, your support is always a good economics for locals, and then they are dependent on tourism. Like even the people who stay on the trail and selling small things as a gift you buying for your friends and family. This money goes for their background of their family. So it is always help. But what I mean is, if someone say like long price, so we can meet it down, like it's kind of negotiations and how it works. And yeah, also on the when you book your holiday, like for in the whole package, you always have to find the right place and the right person and the right companies. So we'll offer you we will meet your aim, we will meet your interest. So the right at the reasonable price, reasonable guides, and professionalism, and all things is come together. So that's what you have before you decide your holiday. Please think another maybe a few hours and book with right persons and with people who work really. I can see in my point. So there is in the internet there is so many like titles, packages, and place. Like even in Nepal, but everyone selling in different price. But some people might be little cheaper, some people might be little higher. But you have to meet your right person, right? So that means you will not lose your money. You will not paying the high money. So that will make your holiday the best, which will also save your budget.
Yeah, and I must admit for myself, my approach has always been because I've done a lot of travel. Like I started off when I was in my early 20s, backpacking around Europe and doing the same thing that 100,000 other Aussies always do. And when you've got unlimited time, it's okay to spend time organising transport and permits and booking a bus to get from here to there or finding your accommodation. But when I've travelled, when I've only got limited time, like it's only a 2-week trip or a 3-week trip, I've always found, for me personally, either having everything sorted before I go or working with an organized tour or a package or something where all of the time consuming stuff is already done for me, has always helped me in terms of when I'm in the trip, then I can focus on the experience rather than the logistics of how are we going to get from this town to this town, or where can we find this or whatever. So yeah, so that's just my 2 cents worth as well. So now, does anybody have any questions they would like to ask? Because we're just about to wrap it up. That's about all we were going to cover today. Is there anything else that anybody would like to chime in with? Go for it, Carolyn.
Apologies for being late, but Dinesh, lovely to hear from you. Thank you so much. Can you just repeat for me the name of your company or your business? I assume you're a local guide and have your own business there.
Yeah, my company name is called Nature Explore Trekking.
Nature Explore.
Yeah, trekking.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm Dinesh Karki. You already know that. And you can also chat with Michelle about this plan, which she's supporting us. So it's also make it easier to chat. So if you want to also contact me when you're ready, so I'm also always ready. So you can email us anytime.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you have a specific time or trek or something that you want organized for yourself, then we can just organize and have a separate catch up if you like. Or, I can point you in the right direction for information and different links and things like that as well.
Yeah, no, I'd love to come with you, I think, Michelle.
All right. Well, after we finish the recording, hang on, and I'll get you. I think I've got your details from our email list, so I can send you the link with all the details of the specific trips that we're doing and the dates and all that sort of stuff. That would be lovely for you to come along with us.
Lovely. It may be, unfortunately, well, it depends on budget and things, but it could push out to 2025. But
fine.
Fine. It's gonna happen.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I actually was planning. I'm actually going to stop the recording and say thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you. Sorry I was late.
That's all right, Deb. I'm just going to stop the recording, but we can still chat.